Ladies, have you ever been talking to a guy and thought, wait, did he just say that? Well, today we're diving into the 7 phrases men say when they've slept with a lot of women and the psychology behind why they say them. Stick around because number 4 is something you've probably heard before, but you might not have realized what it really means. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot these subtle red flags and protect your heart. Understanding the psychology behind what men say can save you from wasting time on the wrong guys. These phrases aren't just random. They're often clues about his past and his intentions. This isn't about judging anyone, it's about empowering you with knowledge so you can make informed decisions in your dating life. Some of these phrases might seem innocent at first, but once you understand the psychology behind them, you'll see them in a whole new light. So let's get into it. 1. I'm not looking for anything serious right now. Let's start with a phrase you've probably heard before. I'm not looking for anything serious right now. On the surface, it might sound like honesty, but it's often a way for men to keep things casual without committing. This phrase is a major red flag because it's a sign that he's used to short-term relationships and may not be ready to settle down. From a psychological perspective, men who've had many partners often use this line to avoid emotional attachment while still enjoying the benefits of a relationship. They've likely been in situations where they've kept things surface level, and they've learned how to maintain that distance. It's not necessarily about you, it's about their comfort zone and their fear of deeper emotional intimacy. So what should you do if you hear this phrase? If you're looking for something serious, take it as a warning. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you can change his mind or that he'll come around eventually. A man who's truly ready for commitment won't need to tell you he's not looking for something serious. He'll show you through his actions. Protect your energy and don't settle for less than you deserve. 2. I've never met anyone like you before. Next up is a phrase that might sound like the ultimate compliment. I've never met anyone like you before. While it's flattering to hear, it's often a line used by experienced men to make you feel special and lower your guard. Here's the psychology behind it. Men who've been with many women know exactly what to say to make you feel unique. Even if they don't mean it, they've had enough experience to understand what women want to hear, and they use it to their advantage. This phrase is designed to create a sense of exclusivity, making you feel like you're different from everyone else he's been with. But the truth is, if he's said it to you, there's a good chance he said it to others too. So, how should you respond? Pay attention to his actions, not just his words. If he's not showing consistent effort, this phrase might just be a tactic to keep you interested without actually investing in the relationship. Look for patterns in his behavior. Does he follow through on his promises? Does he make time for you? If not, don't let a few sweet words cloud your judgment. Remember, actions always speak louder than words. 3. Let's keep things casual. Now, let's talk about a phrase that's become all too common in modern dating. Let's keep things casual. On the surface, it might sound like a reasonable request, but it's actually a clear indicator that he's not interested in a committed relationship. Men who use this phrase are often used to keeping things surface level, avoiding the emotional depth and responsibility that comes with a serious partnership. From a psychological perspective, men who've had many partners often prefer casual arrangements because they're less emotionally demanding. They've likely been in situations where they've enjoyed the benefits of a relationship like companionship, intimacy, and attention without having to fully invest emotionally. This allows them to maintain a sense of freedom and avoid the vulnerability that comes with true commitment. So what should you do if you hear this phrase? If you're looking for commitment, don't settle for casual. It's important to know your worth and recognize that you deserve someone who's willing to meet you at your level. If he's not on the same page, it's better to walk away than to waste your time hoping he'll change. Remember, a man who truly values you will want to build something meaningful, not keep you at arm's length. 4. I don't believe in labels. Next up is a phrase that's become a hallmark of modern dating. I don't believe in labels. While it might sound progressive or open-minded, it's often used to avoid defining the relationship, which allows him to keep his options open. Psychologically, men who've been with many women often avoid labels because they're used to keeping things flexible and non-committal. They've likely been in situations where they've enjoyed the perks of a relationship without the responsibility of being someone's boyfriend or partner. By avoiding labels, they can maintain a sense of freedom while still reaping the benefits of your time and attention. If you hear this phrase, it's important to recognize it for what it is, a sign that he's not ready for something serious. Labels aren't about control, they're about clarity and mutual respect. If he's hesitant to define the relationship, it's a red flag that he's not fully invested. Don't be afraid to have an honest conversation about what you want. If he's not willing to meet you halfway, it's better to move on than to settle for ambiguity. 5. I'm really bad at relationships. Now, let's talk about a phrase that might sound like vulnerability but is often a red flag. I'm really bad at relationships. While it might seem like he's being honest about his flaws, it's often a way for men to lower your expectations and excuse their behavior. From a psychological standpoint, men who've had many partners often struggle with emotional intimacy. They've likely been in situations where they've avoided deep connections, either because they're afraid of getting hurt or because they're used to keeping things casual. By admitting they're bad at relationships, they're essentially giving themselves a free pass to avoid accountability. If you hear this phrase, it's important to take it seriously. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you can fix him or that your love will be the exception. A healthy relationship requires effort and emotional maturity from both partners. If he's not willing to work on himself or grow with you, he's not ready for a healthy relationship. Remember, you deserve someone who's willing to put in the effort and meet you halfway, not someone who makes excuses for their behavior. 6. I don't want to ruin what we have. Next, let's talk about a phrase that might sound romantic, but is often a red flag. I don't want to ruin what we have. On the surface, it might seem like he's trying to protect the relationship, but in reality, it's often used to avoid taking things to the next level. This phrase is a way for him to keep things comfortable without committing or deepening the connection. From a psychological perspective, men who've been with many women often fear losing the spark that comes with new relationships. They've likely experienced the excitement of the early stages of dating and may associate commitment with losing that initial thrill. By saying he doesn't want to ruin what you have, he's essentially avoiding the vulnerability and effort that come with building a deeper, more meaningful relationship. If you hear this phrase, it's important to recognize it for what it is, a sign that he's not ready to grow with you. A healthy relationship requires both partners to be willing to evolve and deepen their connection over time. If he's not willing to take that step, it's a red flag that he's not ready for a long-term commitment. Don't settle for someone who wants to keep you at arm's length. You deserve a partner who's excited to build a future with you. 7. I've made a lot of mistakes in the past. Finally, let's talk about a phrase that might sound like vulnerability but is often a red flag. I've made a lot of mistakes in the past. While it might seem like he's being honest about his flaws, it's often a way for men to justify their behavior and avoid taking responsibility. From a psychological standpoint, men who've had many partners often use this line to make you feel sorry for them and lower your expectations. They might share stories of past relationships that didn't work out, framing themselves as the victim or the one who's learned their lesson. But the truth is, this phrase can be a way to excuse their current behavior and avoid accountability. If you hear this phrase, it's important to pay attention to whether he's actively working on himself or just using his past as an excuse. Is he taking steps to grow and improve, or is he simply repeating the same patterns? A healthy relationship requires both partners to take responsibility for their actions and work toward building a better future together. If he's not willing to do that, it's a sign that he's not ready for a healthy, committed relationship. Remember, you deserve someone who's willing to put in the effort and grow with you, not someone who hides behind their past mistakes. And the knowledge is power. The more you understand about men's psychology, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the dating world. Until next time, take care of yourself and your heart. Thanks for watching.